They say the past cannot be changed, but that's not entirely true. You can't rewrite the facts of what happened, but you can absolutely rewrite the meaning of it. You see, trauma isn't just an event that occurred in your history. It's what continues to live inside you, a ghost in the machine shaping your choices, your identity, and ultimately, your destiny. It whispers limiting beliefs in your ear and holds you back with invisible chains. But what if that story could change? What if your mind, the very same place that was wounded, also holds the profound, incredible power to reframe, to reimagine, and to rebirth who you are? What if you could take the very thing that broke you and use it to build a stronger, more authentic self? Today, we're going to explore how you can do just that. This isn't about forgetting what happened. It's about transforming its power over you. Every single one of us lives inside a story. It's a narrative our psyche creates to make sense of the world, especially to make sense of pain. When something traumatic happens, especially in our formative years, the mind doesn't just store it as a bad memory. It freezes that moment in time, and from that frozen snapshot, it creates an identity. It's a survival mechanism. The mind concludes, the world is unsafe, so I must be constantly on guard. Or, I was abandoned, so I must be unwanted. Or even, I failed, so I am unworthy of love. These devastating conclusions become the secret lines of a script you never chose, yet you find yourself performing it day after day. It shows up in the partners you choose, the opportunities you shy away from, and the recurring cycles of self-sabotage you can't seem to break. The great psychologist Carl Jung wrote that, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Think about that. What we call fate is often just our unexamined trauma script playing out on a loop. Until you turn around and face the story your trauma wrote for you, you will continue to live it again and again. It will manifest as your deepest fears, your most painful relationships, and the heavy feeling that you're stuck in a destiny you did not ask for. But the first step to changing that story is recognizing that it is a story, one that was written by a past version of you, a version that was trying its best to survive with the limited resources it had. Recognizing this isn't about blame, it's about empowerment. It's the moment you realize you have the power to pick up the pen. Healing truly begins when you take that pen back. The act of rewriting your story isn't about denial or pretending the pain didn't happen. It's about reclamation. It's the courageous act of looking at the past from your current, more evolved perspective. You start to see that the original story was written by a younger, more vulnerable version of yourself. A version that didn't have the full picture, the wisdom, or the strength that you possess today. That younger you did the best they could to interpret an overwhelming event. Now, as an adult, you can look at that same wound and give it a new meaning. You can look at a moment of betrayal and say, this was the moment I learned the importance of my own intuition. You can look at a moment of failure and say, this was the moment I discovered my own resilience. Or a moment of profound loss could be reframed as, this was the moment I began a deeper search for meaning in my life. You stop being a passive character in a tragedy and start becoming the active author of an epic journey. This process is more than just positive thinking. When you consciously retell your story from a higher level of awareness, you are literally changing the architecture of your brain. You are forging new neural pathways. These new pathways begin to replace the old, worn-out tracks of fear, shame, and powerlessness. In their place, you build new roads leading to understanding, self-compassion, and empowerment. Every time you choose to see your past through the lens of wisdom instead of woundedness, you are physically rewiring your mind for healing and freedom. You become the editor of your own life story. This journey of rewriting your past often feels like dying. And in a way, it is. The old self, the one that was defined and confined by fear, by a victim identity, by the endless, exhausting replay of the traumatic event. That self must dissolve. It has to make way for something larger, truer, and more whole to emerge. The identity that was built on the foundation of I am broken can no longer stand if you are to build a new identity based on "I am whole." This process can be scary because that old identity, as painful as it was, felt familiar. It was predictable. Letting it go feels like stepping into the unknown. But this symbolic death is not an ending. It's a necessary clearing of the ground for a new beginning. Jung called this profound journey individuation, the process of shedding the false selves and conditioned narratives to become the unique, integrated individual you were always meant to be. It's about becoming whole. Healing, in this sense, isn't about forgetting your pain or erasing the scars. It's about integrating them. It's about transforming the wound into a source of wisdom, the poison into medicine. The moment you stop running from your story and instead decide to walk straight into its heart, with courage and compassion, you make a profound discovery. Your trauma was never meant to be a life sentence in a prison of pain. It was the initiation. It was the call to a deeper, more meaningful, and more conscious life. It was the catalyst for you to awaken to your own strength. Your destiny isn't written in the ink of your pain. It's written in how you choose to respond to it. By consciously rewriting your narrative, you reclaim the authorship of your own life. The past ceases to be a curse that haunts you and instead becomes a teacher that guides you. The same intense energy that was once trapped in the trauma, the energy that once broke you and kept you small, becomes the very force that awakens you. It is transformed into passion, purpose, and a profound capacity for empathy. So right now, I invite you to take a deep breath. Feel your past, but not as a heavy weight on your shoulders. Feel it as the solid foundation upon which you are now building something magnificent. You are not your trauma. You are not the story of what happened to you. You are the consciousness that is observing it, learning from it, and now, rewriting it. You are the alchemist turning lead into gold. And this moment, right now, with this new awareness, is where your new destiny begins. If this message resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content on healing and personal transformation. Your presence here matters. Remember, you hold the pen.